party on the Crimson Starhawk as it makes its way towards the fringes of Astral Congress territory to the edge of illithid space. Currently, the ship is just at cruising speed, making its way to where it needs to go. And I will let you guys interact with each other roleplay-wise if you want. Otherwise, we'll continue with the story.
Story.
What, you have nothing to say?
Yeah.
I think Nebula very quickly after leaving would kind of approach either Threava or really whoever she finds first. And she it's more of less of an approach and more of like a very quick.
Oh, we lost the DM.
It's less of a regular approach and more of a very quick, almost stomp up. Right. So I want to make something, but where's your Where's the fabricator? There's no fabricator on the wall. There's no fabricator in the bay. There's nothing.
Do I know what a fabricator is, though?
Ooh. Josh, you are silent.
You do not.
I basically just tell you, Nebula, I have no idea what that is. I'd help you if I could.
Oh.
Wait, there's no like 3D printer or nothing?
Right. Who might know where the fabricator is? Anyone?
We have one. I would guess the captain would know where it is. It is his ship, after all.
Right, thank you. And she immediately like turns on her heel, trying to go find him. And there's like a kind of like a skin on metal sound as she's barefoot.
Normally, if the captain's not in his personal quarters, he'll be on the bridge with Indivin.
Yeah, she goes to the bridge first. And just knocks on the doorway itself before walking in very quickly. Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
He's not in his quarters.
Oh, she went to the bridge.
Oh, yeah. Well, the bridge is open. Like, the bridge is open.
Oh,
like,
okay.
There is no privacy to the bridge. Like, you go into the bridge and, I don't think I've described the ship layout, so you basically have, like, the sort of central part of the ship, and the top deck is basically where the bridge is. You've got the sort of commons, and then you've got, like, you know, maybe a little bit of back storage. The deck below that, you have personal quarters and the bunk room, and like sort of like a dining and kitchen area. And then below that, you have like a storage. There would also be like, you know, a bathroom, like a toilet area with showers and things on the mid deck. And then you have, you know, the bottom deck, which is where, you know, your hangar bay is. You enter the ship from there. The shuttle leaves the ship from there. And it also has a lot of storage. I would also say the infirmary is on the middle deck. So basically, like, crew's quarters, accommodations, all that kind of stuff. The infirmary, toiletries, and all that, mid-deck.
Mm-hmm.
Top deck, captain's quarters would also be there. So his quarters would be nearby to the bridge. And the bridge itself, when you enter, it's basically, like, tiered. So you have, like... It's almost like in the shape of a V. So when you come in, you have different seating arrangements down the left and down the right, and then you have Indivin's control area down like at the very front.
Mm-hmm.
And then the captain would just sort of sit in the middle.
Yeah, and she enters and again, it's like, hello, and then she seems to almost like hear her own voice in that tone for the first time and immediately kind of shrinks back into like, oh, hello, hello.
Nebula, can we help you?
Where's your fabricator? You know, making things.
Fabricator?
She squints, confused, and then replicator? You know, recreating things?
Are you okay? These things don't
How do you
exist.
how do you create, and she like holds up her dagger, weapons? How do you mass produce them if
Blacksmiths.
not even just black what?
Blacksmiths. If you want a
Not
weapon
even
made,
well, not even just weapon ship parts, shoes, clothes. Without a fabricator, you making them is, let alone replicating them without a rep. You don't have them? None?
no, I've never seen one or anything like that in the whole expanse.
Large frown. Right, okay. How would someone go about making a star map? Well, not a star map, but coordinates for things that you know where they are in relation to other things.
Well, generally, once we input the data into
No,
the ship
no, never
system,
mind.
it's-
No, and she walks out.
The captain and Indivin just look at each other, and then Indivin just shrugs and goes back to piloting the ship, and then he's just left like,
Yeah, it was panic when he said if we input it into the ship. It was panic. And yes, she returns to recorders if anybody's in there. She doesn't say anything to them. She just climbs into the bunk that's inset into the wall, shuts the curtains, and unless anybody approaches her, there's nothing heard from her until the next instance where they would need her.
so if you guys stay in the bunks, like in the crew's quarters where all the bunks are, also in there would be the strange magi woman, the strange elderly magi woman that you picked up, who calls herself Drusilla. When he's not in the kitchen, your ship chef, Amaril Lagasse, will also be in there, basically relaxing. Occasionally, you'll see him, writing down recipes as they come to him, things like that. And he also, occasionally makes lists for Zex for when they go to port, in case he needs, certain spices refilled or something like that. Drusilla mostly keeps to herself. She typically meditates, but she does eat and go to the bathroom. So if you guys want to interact with her, you can feel free to ask questions or things like that.
Have you effectively stormed back past me, kind of looking like in a huffy mood?
It's less of a huffy mood, and there's more of well, what's your insight, or first and foremost,
My passive insight?
unless you're actively looking at her.
I'd
She's not
probably
going to be
be
deceiving
looking at
you,
you, but my passive is 9.
Yeah. So she's not deceiving you, so I'm not going to go with passive deception. But even then, it's everything is 10 plus. So doesn't look like she's huffy. It just she's definitely upset. Not huffy, but upset.
In that case, when I see you do that, I can't follow you back to your bunk, and once you go inside to say, I hope you're alright. If you want to talk, I'm here. If you want to stay silent, you do you.
What good does talking to you about any of this?
It gets out your
Never mind.
system.
and she kind of peeks her head out. Who else is in the bunks right now?
I mean, Gawhyl would probably be on his, depending on when exactly this is during the trip. Probably just like relaxing, like reading something on like a crystalline tablet of some sort.
I think PakPak sitting in the middle of the room, like dismantling his gun and tweaking it.
Sorry, brain fart. Dagg would be, probably just opposite to him, sitting down on the floor watching him.
Right, so, and she kind of like steps out, pulling herself to her full height, and looks kind of nervous as she sees how many people are in the room, and kind of.
Just as a quick one, just so I'm understanding it correctly, is it like one massive sort of like dorm type thing, so like everything is all one room, or is it like private sort of like bunks of like two that are in separate rooms off this sort of main room?
So basically, you have this main area, and it's basically like, you ever seen a capsule hotel? It's basically like that. You've got like these different like sort of blocks, and each block has a set of bunks, and like there are top bunks that are reached with like, small step ladders that go up either side of the bottom bunk, and each of the bunks is like its own sort of self-contained unit. They have like curtains that you can draw for privacy, and the curtains are like sound resistant, so you can watch something on the screen that's built in the upper bit while you're going to sleep, or you can plug in headphones and listen to music to go to sleep or something like that. And also there would be like a sort of ensuite of a bathroom with a few cubicles and some showers, and it's unisex. It's all unisex. Like it doesn't really matter what gender or species you are. Everyone will end up using the same facilities.
I think we agreed, didn't we, Nebula, that we that Gawhyl ended up effectively taking one next to yours or above yours.
Yeah, she kind of pulls herself out of this bunk and sees everybody either around or through doorways, and gets bashful, like this kind of nervous look on her face, and so she kind of stares at the floor. I don't remember. Anything would be a stretch. I don't remember a lot about before I woke up, and the place where I woke up is really important. I can't forget that information. I can't let myself forget it. And normally, and she rolls up both sleeves and pulls up both of these like transparent pant legs and gestures to these like stars that are both like twinkling and moving very, very slowly on her like limbs. Normally, I could just point at where it is, and I'll know how to get back there. But all of this is wrong right here, and she points at like her elbow. The civilian rings. As far as I'm aware, we should be going through those right now, but I don't even know if they exist anymore. I don't even know if it's what they're called. I can't lose it. I can't. And so, then every aspect of your civilizations, everything that I've seen so far, none of it is. It was paradise before. It was paradise, and then I wake up and I see so many aspects of our life in yours, but it's so different. You've lost so much. I just don't know where to begin. I have such a monumental task ahead of me, and my only lead to get any information on it right now is killing. Do I look like I kill people? And she like gestures up and down to herself.
It's at this point Drusilla will actually stop meditating, and whenever she meditates, she floats about 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and she just sort of lowers a little bit, and then just uncurls her legs from her cross-legged position, and they touch down like nothing had changed. And she turns to face you, and she basically just says, "Perhaps it is not that we lost them, dear, but perhaps that we never had them." As far as we are aware, our civilization is the only one. We've had some archaeological digs and things that have found ruins, but we did not think they were galaxy spanning.
And she looks at Drusilla in the eyes, kind of shaking. We were all that there was. There was no one else. It was us. It was us. Everything. And it's gone. We're gone.
This may be true of your people as a whole, but you are their voice. You are the representative of your species.
I don't even know who I am.
You must learn to be strong for yourself and for them. Otherwise, you will never find out. If you lose who you are, then you will be lost, truly, as will your people. There have been a few instances of races being gone. For example, the creators of the Warforged were known as the Gnomes. They were a small, diminutive humanoid species, similar to the halflings, but smaller still. And this is all a recounting of Warforged history. The only thing left of their creators is the only thing left of their creations is them, the creations. Their creations, their memory still lives on. And this is important, for as long as that is true, they are never truly gone.
How? I can't just... I've the very god... And it looks like she doesn't know what to say. It's just a bunch of jumbled mess, and she... Deer in the headlights kind of look...
Relax. Collect your thought. Coalesce them. Organize them. Start with one thing and move to another.
How could Cosmo let this happen?
I'm assuming Cosma is a deity of some kind to your people.
They were the only... They were everything, now nothing, and I need to sit down. And she like pulls herself back into her bunk and shuts the curtain again.
It will take her some time to process these things. Be there for her if you can. But when she needs space, be sure to recognize that and give it to her when it's needed.
It's just not.
She has woken up to a world that is not hers, and she has no friends yet. It is with hope that the lot of you can fill in the gaps left behind by her people's absence. She will need a family more than anything. And with grace, like with incredible grace and like regality, she just elegantly strides out of the room.
I think Gold sort of like he's sort of been listening along to this. He's sort of like semi been reading like this book that he's got on his tablet thing, and then he just sort of like looks across at Threava, like a knowing look of it will take time.
Basically, I know. Must be hard for anyone.
It's a knowing look.
Yeah.
Well, I just say that regardless if I pick up on it, it's like, I know. I know.
I will speak to her when I can.
And Solon's not my strong suit.
How good am I starts at speaking? Probably not great.
I mean, I'm good at speaking, but not in a consoling form. The very opposite.
I think.
Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, do we have a Nathaniel?
Yes, hello. I was
He's
able to
returned from
escape
beyond the
work.
grave.
We
Yep.
called Vincent off here.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I'll just go back to the background. I'm here to ghost haunt you all.
I needed better body parts, so I used his part of his body to make my robot better.
Dude, Flesh Golem's by far the best D&D monster. All right. I think
it's just off job wearing Vincent's skin.
Oh God.
Oh, gross. It's like some fucked up, video game.
Oddjob just burst through a door with a chainsaw, Leatherface style, swinging it everywhere.
I think like listening to all this, V would take some time, and then after like an hour or two, when everyone's kind of spread out, he would go and like tap the edge of his sword on Nebula's kind of like bunk area.
The curtain itself, very slowly, like only a few inches, opens up, but it's enough to reveal these glowing eyes of moon and stars. And rather than like tears, you see almost this glowing, this glowing liquid that shimmers with the color of the cosmos. She wipes it away and just stares, doesn't say anything.
He would, while looking at you, he doesn't say anything, but he like slowly draws his sword, not in like an aggressive manner, and he lays it down in front of you. And I think with, enough time of you looking, it would probably be very similar to like what you would imagine a replicator weapon to look like.
At first she doesn't understand. She looks at it, looks at you, kind of quizzically, and then after a bit of looking it over, just the overall perfection of it, the way it's not built, the way it hasn't been hammered or anything, just the smoothness of it kind of catches, and this look of disbelief on her face and excitement, fear, as she looks back up at you.
He would sit down on the edge of your bunk, kind of look around. What you're looking at is a standard issued sword that I was assigned before I left my, we'll call it station. My people have technology similar to what you were talking about earlier. Granted, it's kept quiet and very secretive to us, but I know of some of the things you were talking about earlier. You're what they call an astral elf, correct?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I'm just no.
Astral elf? What? Which part? I'm really bad at people. I'm sorry.
I guess that's one thing that you could call us. And she pulls one of the buns out with this. It's almost like a silk ribbon that's tied it up, and she starts playing with it in her hands. That's one thing you could say.
To be honest, before you get your hopes up very high, I'm gonna crush them immediately. I do not know of any of your people. The name Astral Elf was something our historians would tell us about. What you probably don't know is a long time ago, there was a big-ass war. A lot of races fought in it, and it was mostly against Illithids. Whether or not you know what that is regardless to the story. Your people were gone before that.
She nods.
Your people, so from my family, or my people, you could say, found remnants of your history, your technology for some words, replicator and whatnot, and that is what this is a product of.
Yes, it's we had conventional ways of making things, and we had artisans, and I think we did. But we only really had to make something once. And
well, ours is not as advanced as that. For instance, this is a basic steel sword. If you look around, people got like light blades and stuff. The replicators, as far as I know, that we have can only make basic stuff. But again, lower totem pole type of person. So what I'm basically saying is, even if your people are gone and you're the last one of your people, your history is at least passed on somewhat.
he looks uncertain for a second, and then looks around, like very specifically looking to see if anybody else is around right now.
I'm probably there, but not listening. Like I'm in my own bunk.
I've probably gone to somewhere else at this point as well.
She leans in very, very close and just whispers, "Not the last one." And then shuts the curtain.
Ooh. I think V has something to do once everyone else falls asleep, Josh. But till then, he's gonna say, "Great conversation. I love when people close curtains on me to end it. It's very impolite." And then he just stands up, opens the curtain, takes his sword back, shuts the curtain again, and then stomps off.
Oh God.
Josh, while all that was happening, do you think that Oddjob has the ability to have open a one-on-one conversation with Insol from his charging station?
Yeah. Insol
Cool.
is telepathic. So
Yes.
if you wish to communicate with him or it, you can.
Cool. So I think the first thing would be, Insol, you have become what you are through the use of your creator. You described yourself as an ace in the hole. Can you elaborate? What was your purpose to be used in the Illithid War?
I can, odd job. My purpose was simple. I was to facilitate many tasks within seconds of each other, thanks to my body, which is made up of revolutionary, very microscopic versions of Warforged. I would have been capable of much. Healing, repairing. I could fabricate weapons out of my own being. And this is true, to an extent. I will be a very great ally to Mr. Harlock for the rest of his life. It is the only purpose I can find comfort in, knowing the loss of Ganymede.
Do you remember the creator known as Calibar?
Calibar. Yes. He was one of the chief scientists on my project. Felt sorry for him. He always seemed so stressed, so worried.
That was his way. That was always his way. His and he was directly responsible for your creation.
Directly, but he was involved.
Do you remember any of your other creators?
A few. Why do you ask, odd job? It is clear to me that Calibar was directly involved in your creation. However, why do you wish to know about others?
I want to know about the creators. I want to know everything. And I want a documented history of all that we have lost. If they had a plan for you, perhaps that plan can still be completed. A plan that can finally rid the Illithid from the universe.
I find your reasoning understandable, Oddjob. Yes, I do believe I could facilitate your desires. Simply speak to me when we have free time, and I will regale you all that I know within the time allotted.
When Dagg is asleep,
Yes, this would be ideal. Although he need not be asleep. I can communicate with people individually.
good. In Sol, it is good that one of the original creations is still around.
Would argue the same in your case.
Yes. Yes. And then he closes the communication.
It is at this point you guys hear a call come in over the intercom, and it's Indivin's voice. Captain, I just picked up a distress call from a military vessel belonging to the elves. You're gonna want to hear this.
I think you just hear the slight scrape marks of claws against metal rush towards where the bridge is.
Oddjob's gonna decouple himself from his charger and start heading toward.
Heading there, but if I hear that, I'm like,
PakPak's quickly reassembling his gun.
You guys basically just see Zex run out of the toilets with a little bit of toilet paper trailing behind him on his claw.
Gross.
I think when everyone's running to like the bridge to go hear what's going on, Vincent's gonna wait till it's probably just him and the meditating lady again. He's gonna climb up and to the vents and take the messenger stone or the sending stone out of his briefcase and put it back. And then he'll follow suit with the rest of the shenanigans this group of random people are gonna get up to.
Much shenanigans. So you guys get up to the bridge, and Indivin's got the illusory screen basically pulled up, and the image is quite staticky and disjointed, and you can just faintly make out elven personnel on an elven warship. And there are alarms blaring. People are scrambling everywhere. There's an explosion going off in the background. And this is basically what you can hear in amidst the static. The hell are these? I don't know. They just came out of nowhere. And then the sound just completely cuts out until the captain of the vessel steps into view of the screen. I need to pull up my notes for this real quick. You guys basically see she's a wood elven woman, similar to Gawhyl's adopted family. She's a little bit middle-aged. She's got sort of copper blonde hair, tied up very tightly into a bun. She's wearing a captain's hat and a captain's uniform. This is Captain Silazana Starstrider of the... Oh, God. Can you try and keep her steady? This is Captain Silazana Starstrider of the AMS Lanceon, placing a distress call. We're under attack by an unknown enemy, an unknown vessel. We've never seen anything like them. They are not Illithids. I repeat, they are not Illithids. We request... What the actual fuck is that? And with that, it goes completely blank.
They need help. They need help. We have to go.
Does the name of that ship sound familiar?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm desperately trying to find stuff in my notes.
Is that a knowledge check of some sort?
yes, everyone can make knowledge checks.
All
Fiery,
history?
you can roll this at advantage.
Is this history, Josh? Or investigation, or just straight intelligence?
I will accept either history or just straight up intelligence.
Well, it's the same
Uh,
for me, so here goes.
Nebula's not
history-
making a roll. 'Cause
With
it does not
history,
make any
it's
sense.
25.
I got 18 plus 0 for 18.
I got a 21, and it can be on either.
I got 0 because it didn't roll.
17 plus 7.
19 plus 3 for a 22.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
Random
okay.
druid girl. I know the ship.
No.
Well, she doesn't know it as well as everyone, but most of you would recognize the AMS Lanceon as a very, very famous ship in the Elven Navy, specifically the Elven Navy. But
22,
it's part,
sorry.
it's part. It's part of the. It's part of the Astral Patrol military division as a whole. And they work together and coordinate with the Dragonborn and the other militant races of the galaxy to basically keep the galaxy safe, to prevent the return of the Illithids, to basically hunt and take down pirates and other such undesirables. They the ship was at one point under the command of one Ulandil Pollinodel. Who was a very, very, very well-renowned war hero who basically, with his stratagems and his command of that ship, helped to drive the Illithids back a second time during the Illithid resurgences. His son, specifically his middle son, Valoran, serves on that ship as a chief petty officer.
I just found it.
Would, in this case, Overlord DM, is my character obligated to go?
If Captain Wordhall says you should go, then you should go. Otherwise, he will specifically select people that he thinks would be good for this task, would be good for this mission.
Gawhyl would would be very assertive on going. We need to get aboard the ship.
This isn't the mission.
Well, you can't just leave the people defenseless out there. They're calling for help. We've got the call. We've heard their call.
This is not within mission parameters.
It is if I say it is, and I say it's within mission parameters. Indivin, do we have coordinates? Yes, Captain. I can get us there in probably about 15 minutes.
This is illogical.
It's something to shoot, so we shoot.
Moment you say that, prefix just effectively reloads their gun.
If helping people is illogical in this new world that I've woken up in, then I'll be a mad woman my entire life. And she turns off and goes to get ready.
PakPak's just standing in the middle of the corridor, just checking his grenades.
I think Gawhyl would very quickly go grab what he needs and then be straight back up on the bridge to help out however he can.
Yeah, so basically you guys see Indivin just immediately, like, raw focus, start basically just typing on the console as she pushes a few buttons, different things, and she basically just turns around and she says, "All right, everyone, strap yourselves in. I'm about to make the blink jump."
I strap in somewhere.
Oh, I'm back.
I think the PakPak would like go up and be like, "What's her blink? Jump!" as we go.
Is it one of those things where if I jump when it happens, I do a cool trick, or is this like one of the things where if I don't strap in, I fly against the wall? Internal monologue.
The debate of, do I look cool or do I look injured?
Odd job.
Do I
looking
look
at
cool?
just
Do I
leaves
take a
feet
shit
to the
ton of
floor.
bludgeoning?
Yeah.
Do we make it?
I'm pretty sure our ship blows up.
Josh, you're muted.
Not.
Or, oh well, you're
You're just deaf.
I saw your mouth move and nothing came out of your audio.
You're just deaf.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah. Eat the mic, why don't you?
Today's
Honestly, on
session
my
comes with
PC,
a
I feel like I
content
have to.
warning of loudness.
That's D&D.
So where was I?
We were flying towards the other ship, and everyone was having a cool gear up scene. Besides PakPak, who was checking if he had gunpowder in his grenades.
Fair enough.
Only it was gunpowder.
Given my
Yes,
connections, would I have any sort of thing, any extra information on this ship?
Yes. You'd probably know some of the personnel. Specifically some of the personnel that Valoran himself would answer to. So you've got the commander of the ship, Kelrin Nostrana.
Okay.
You've got Captain Starstrider herself. Valoran himself is a chief petty officer. Commander Kelrin is, let's see, what did I say he was?
What were the names again? Captain.
Silzana Starstrider. So I'll go ahead and I'll just copy paste these into session text for you, since I can hear you typing notes like a good boy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Is that racist?
No, but it is speciest.
You're not wrong.
I don't think Oddjob gets a cool weapon load up scene. He just gets he's just constantly reattaching his weapon arm.
So
Oddjob just watches everybody do their cool load up sequence, and then he lifts his arm to inspect where the weapon would come out, and the arm falls off.
Yeah, that's exactly that.
Oh, jeez.
And then he goes to pick it up with the other arm, and then that arm falls off, and then he's just on the ground trying to get both of the pieces.
What was the other name that he said as well? He said his third name.
So you've got Valoran, who's your adopted brother.
Oh yeah, of course.
You've got Captain Silzana Starstrider, and you've got Commander Kelrin Nostrana.
Right.
Kelrin, I need to figure out what the fuck I decided he was in terms of race, because I didn't write it down like a dipshit.
Do we need roll 20 open, Josh?
No, I don't. But I should probably do the thing.
Well, we were asking if we needed it, not you. We don't care about you.
You take 100 psychic damage?
I will say, I don't actually have any assets on Incarnate to build ship interiors, interiors, so we don't have any ship interior maps if there is combat.
Okay.
But if we will need it today, maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Depends on how much longer we'll go for.
Would I have anything like in terms of maps personally, or like rough layout stuff?
As I understand it, sounds like Josh has just told us they're all dead and there's no point, and now I'm just scared to go on another ship. Or he was playing us all the fool.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I don't think we'll need Roll20 today, but I could be wrong. We'll see where it goes.
Well, we only got about an hour left, so probably not.
Probably not. We'll see. Okay. So, the captain specifically tells Dagg to stay behind for this mission because he's still not 100% up to snuff. And Dagg will begrudgingly and frustratedly agree. Because the moment he starts, like, you know, getting ready, he feels like a stitch in his side. As for the rest of you, alright, we don't really know what to expect. These enemies are unknown, according to the captain. They're not illithids, so I want everyone to go. I want all of you to go. Except Dagg. He's not well enough to go. The rest of you will go. I'll stay here on the ship and provide reconnaissance and other things. Endivan will try to hack into the ship's systems and see what she can find. And as he's saying this, the ship gets surrounded by a glowing ethereal blue light, and you feel it lurch violently before it then stops again, and in the view screen of the ship, you see the Lanceon. It's a massive, beautiful, sleek green ship with white vine-like outlines. But the white lines are flickering, the ship appears to be drifting, and you can see a lot of critical damage on several parts of it. Especially the engines. The engines look absolutely, completely buggered. Endivan, as like she sees this, she's just like, by the stars. Captain, this looks bad. Can you get us close? Yeah, I can get you close. It looks like the docking port should still be operational. I'm not sure how much of the ship is going to be intact, though. You might want to go in with your breath masks. And as she says this, she just types on the runic keys. And the ship zooms in towards the Lanceon, and for the size of scale, if the Crimson Starhawk is this big, the cruiser that is the Lanceon is about this big.
Let's blow it up.
Can I ask if we're able to open communications, and I'll ask if I'd be able to directly
Endivan is
speak to
actively trying. Like, as she's piloting the ship, she's also opening a comms channel with it. There is no response. They do not respond to the hail.
You see worry in Gal's face with the fact that we can't even get communication to them.
Yeah, it looks bad. It seems bad as well.
Would I know if we could, because you said there's like a docking bay, I imagine there's like doors that protect that area?
Yes.
Would I know?
So you can dock with the airlock. And basically when you dock with the airlock, it will do the whole like depressurization thing and everything. And then once it does that, like you'll be allowed into the ship.
Is there any sort of like passphrase or such and such?
No. Especially if Indivin's able to get into the systems, like she can override it.
Yeah.
Well, and it's SOSing, so they would have to allow us on board. That wouldn't make sense for it to be locked.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
Come help us. We kept the doors locked, though.
Come help us. Oh, wait, you can't.
So the ship pulls alongside. It sort of like magnetizes with the docking tube. And then pressurization changes. Like you can hear the psst of the pressurization change. And then the door opens into a very dark, long tube with a door at the end with a flickering light above it.
It doesn't look good.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't.
we've already spent 15 minutes getting here. We should hurry.
Stay in radio contact. And no God's damned heroics. Do I make myself clear?
Just nods.
PakPak cocks his gun. Yeah, no promises. And we'll
No response from Nebula either.
Heroics are not part of my protocol.
Fucking robot. He's my favorite.
And then my leg falls.
And yet Nebula, right behind PakPak, very quickly going towards that door.
I think you see.
So you
like,
guys go to the door.
I think you'd see a very different side to Gawhyl now. Like you see the side of like we're on a mission.
Yeah.
So you guys have all suited up. You've got your armor on. You've got your suits on. You've got your helmets and your breath masks on. You go up to this door, and the automatic sensors trigger. The door opens. You're able to move inside. Then once the door closes, pressurization, psst, and the doors open onto a ship that is eerily quiet.
Can I try and orientate myself on the ship to try and work out which direction we need to go?
Yeah.
Is it
so
dark?
Currently, except for the emergency lighting, yes. Power seems to be on reserve. Life support is still functioning for the time being.
I think to get the benefit of the low light vision that some of us have, Nebula like flicks her hand, and these two motes of light form into like one of them looks like a sun and another one looks like a shooting star, and they kind of just orbit the party at like 10 feet out. Dancing lights.
So, you guys move in. The ship is strangely empty. It's quiet. There aren't any crew that you can immediately see. Immediately, you come across a room, and at this point, Gawhyl, you would realize that you're on the sort of center or second or third deck, which would count as the sort of accommodations deck. The crew
Right.
quarters are here, the galley, all that kind of stuff. And this door actually leads into the galley. And when you enter, you find a sight that is very, very unwelcome. You find several dead crewmen. Most of them, it looks like they were literally sat down for maybe lunch. The food has gone off.
Can I try and work out how long?
Yeah. You can either make a nature check or a medicine check, depending on if you want to check the food or the crewmen.
What am I gonna? Nature. That's a 23 for nature.
Thinking on it, this food went off probably around the same time that Valoran stopped sending in reports to the family.
You'd hear Gawhyl say something, but I think Nebula would be the only one to hear it because he would say it in Elvish, like just cursing under his breath. Then something along the lines of, that's the time. It's when he last communicated.
What? Sorry, what? And also in Elvish.
We haven't had any communication since. Was it 3 weeks ago? I can't remember now.
It's been about a month,
About a
maybe
month.
5 weeks.
There has been no communication from this ship for approximately 5 weeks, maybe.
Oh no. Wow. And she's as she's like talking, she's not looking at him. She's got these like lights, these two like dancing lights, and she's moving them around the interior of this room to any dark spots and just like illuminating them. And then like she'll look at the dark spot for a few seconds and move on to the next one with these lights, and she's just waving her hand lazily as she does so.
Whatever has happened here has been going on for some time.
But didn't we just get the thing, the signal? That doesn't make much sense.
Unless we were the only ones nearby.
But the attack was still going on in the signal, so it should stand to reason that she just kind of trails off.
I
If
don't know.
makes an assumption at this point. What if it was someone hypothetically attacked back then, but they took a recording of a distress message and they just played it back to us?
Everyone to make perception checks, please. Except for Vincent.
That makes a difference.
Perception. That's a flat 8.
Oh, I rolled a natural
14,
1 for a
you
total of
say.
4. Natural 1, total of 4.
Natural 2, total of 4.
The two people who are in who are in the front of the whole group just don't see anything.
26.
26. So
PakPak
odd
jumps
job.
in
18.
Nebula.
Okay. So with that 26, odd job, you're the only one who sees V slip away from the party and go off on his own.
I'm also once I see that, I quietly start walking off towards where V is going, without telling the rest of the group.
I'm just stealth right now.
You want me to roll stealth?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, since I rolled so high on perception, you know I'm gonna roll low on this. You know what I mean?
But yeah, but also you're a fucking robot in a metal ship. You're not
Falls
exactly
apart on a
subtle.
whim. He falls apart on a whim.
Dirty 20.
Oh my god. The rest of us are completely blind. We're just all, oh, there's some dead people
listen,
here.
They were having this conversation in theory crafting loudly, and Oddjob's always loud when he moves. So it's like Oddjob's probably like bonking into a wall. That's their logic.
Dung,
So
dung.
yeah. Literally, you guys are having this discussion, and you hear Oddjob's footsteps, and you think he's just walking around doing his weird inspection thing. And then when you look up, both him and Vincent are gone.
What to get to?
Huh?
Hmm?
That's not good.
Vincent and Oddjob's gone.
How did we get separated? They were
They were
right
just
behind us.
Where did they go?
I don't know.
How did we lose a robot? How does he not clang all over the place?
We need to be closer together. Do we keep moving forward? And she like activates the radio. Oddjob and V are gone, disappeared, behind us somewhere.
What?
Hello?
Sorry, can you repeat that for my sanity?
Oddjob and Vincent disappeared. They were behind us a second ago, and now they're not. She looks much more timid to anyone who can see her the second time she repeats it.
Yeah.
So you hear a little bit of swearing in Draconic. Alright? Fine. Try and locate your missing crewmates. Give them a swift kick in the ass for me. And then continue about the mission. What is the situation so far?
There has been death here for maybe a month, 5 weeks.
5 weeks. And then, like, you hear him mumbling something to Indivan. Okay, Indivan suspects that the battle may have potentially disrupted communication systems and made the long-range transponders go, if you catch my meaning. Which is probably why no one has discovered it until now. We were probably 12 parsecs away, give or take, when we got it. So the short-range transponder was probably still working, but not the long-range. That's bad news for this ship in that case, because unless somebody was specifically passing through their immediate vicinity, nobody heard that distress call.
I think it will be safe to proceed. But
We need to stick together.
What systems are still active? Is life support still active?
Yes. Life support, and there is some emergency lighting.
And we're walking, so gravity.
Okay, good. In that case, sweep the ship for survivors. If there are none, check the hangar bay, see if any of the fighters or the shuttles are gone. If so, we know that some people at least made it out. Captain Wordhole out.
If you need access... Oh. I think Carl just goes to say that on his right.
Okay, well,
Where should we check first?
I think
well,
we
they
should-
obviously didn't walk in front of us, so
Oh, are we looking for them first or other people first?
I think that was what Captain Wordhall wanted us to do.
Sounds good.
I don't know how good it will be to go off chasing after them.
Okay.
They were clearly
want-
looking for something. So.
I want everyone who did not bugger off from the party to make a survival check to see if you can track these two. You have to get at least a 20 to be able to find
Oh, boy.
Odd Job.
That was not a
Sauce.
good roll.
Ah,
Oh,
I got 19.
I got.
survival check.
You wouldn't believe it. I got 4 again.
I got
Oh my
6.
I got
Sauce,
22.
I
Nate, you and I are
literally,
so sneaky.
Dude, I know the
literally-
giant robot and the midget.
Ow.
I literally cannot get 20. The best I
Also-
could get on that was 19.
I got 22.
Go on, Lilith. Nice.
22, nice. So, Lilith, just kneeling down, looking at the floor, you can see just ever so subtle scuff marks from metal scraping on metal, and you can be like, oh, they went this way.
All right, this way.
And Nebula's going to keep the lights, one in front of the party and one behind them. About 30, about I'd say 10 feet behind and one just in front. That way, if anyone's coming up behind, their shadows get cast in front of us. And obviously, we're looking in front of us, so.
In the meanwhile, while you guys are playing catch up, V,
Yes, sir.
get where you are attempting to go. I would like you to make a survival check. And since you are familiar with ships of this size, you can make
Yep.
an advantage roll.
Hell yeah. Natural 20,
Oh my god.
27.
Jesus.
Okay?
Rangers, baby, are really good now.
So, yeah, you basically just casually make your way there in a beeline. Like it's not even like you even literally find an elevator and you're able to give Odd Job the slip.
I think though, like with my really high passive, I'd probably spot Odd Job and see that the group's not with Odd Job, and I just give him like a little wave, and then I press the button and go up.
Oh, jeez.
No, wait, hold the lift.
Yeah.
Hold
Odd
the
Job goes,
lift.
Wait. And his little like the little lights that make up like what would be his eyes instead of like his normal eyes, it just the words wait.
Nothing brings my character more joy than fucking with Odd Job.
And I guess I'll wait by the elevator once he's done and try and like tap the buttons on it.
Is it like a normal elevator to where he could see what floor I go on, or is this like the space elevator where it's just like, he's going somewhere? Does that make sense?
It does have a reading of where the elevator currently
Okay.
is and where it's
Yeah,
going.
so I just pressed like just keep tapping the button to summon the elevator to me. Yeah.
So, Odd Job, you witness the elevator going to deck 1, which you know would be the bridge deck. V, you come out of the elevator on the bridge deck, and then immediately the elevator just immediately goes back down.
Yeah, and knowing that I don't have enough time, I go like straight for where captains and like people keep like the important shit.
Yeah.
For either, security reasons or protective reasons.
So, you're able to navigate your way there pretty easily. It's just the captain's quarters are located just underneath the bridge, and you basically get into like a nice sort of like almost like a suite with a window view of space, and there's a large bed. All sorts of different things. There's a sort of little office space with a desk, and for lack of a better term, we'll call it a computer, but it's basically like a holographic screen with the sort of like, runic keys that you saw Indivin using on the ship console for the Starhawk.
Yeah.
If you would like to break into this computer, then I need you to make me a hacking check.
Arcana, right?
Yep.
Okay. Not as good, but still decent. That is a 16 plus 3 for a total of 19.
So it takes you a couple of tries. You basically input a few different passwords to just...
I tried birthdays first.
Yeah, you're like, I'll try the birthday. Wait, I don't know their birthday. Damn it!
Yep.
So you eventually just, you start to decrypt it, and eventually you just bypass the whole security system and go in. And you essentially find the captain's logs, and one of the most recent files on there is a sort of like a video log.
Play it.
So she says her name and the star date, which I don't have because I no longer have access to my fucking calendar. Thanks, World Anvil.
You're welcome.
So
Yes.
she basically goes through the motions of like, captain's log, captain blah blah blah, star date, yada yada. This mission worries me. There have been concerning disappearances in this entire sector for a considerable amount of time now, and the Triumvirate has decided that something needs to be done about it. Since the Lanceon is one of the best warships in the entire military division, why not? The Navy has counted on this ship to drive the Illithids back before, and if it is the Illithids behind this, well, I'll be another war hero, I guess. I don't know how the hell Ulendil dealt with the stress. Matter of fact, something feels off about all of this. We don't really know where the ships have gone. There's no trace. We've been sweeping for, 4 days now. Nothing. Not an iota. Not a speck of space dust. You'd think if they were attacked, there would at least be scrap, debris, rubble, something floating out here. Maybe an errant corpse that got spaced on accident, or hell, I don't know. I'm just spitballing, throwing shit at the wall to see what makes sense to me, and so far nothing does. Chief Valoran is also worried, but he looks up to me. They all do. Commander, I don't really know what to tell them at this point. So far, I've been giving orders that I can think of to try and track these ships down, and there have been nothing. It's nothing. We've been searching for days now. I can only hope that we'll get to the bottom of it soon, or hopefully we'll at least find something that proves there was just an accident, and we can prevent future tragedies or whatever has been going on. But it's not looking promising to start off with. And that's when that vlog ends.
Mm.
How far behind are the rest of us?
You're probably about 5 minutes behind.
I think as soon as...
Can I toss the room then at this point? Because this vlog didn't, or the video log didn't really have anything of substance. Can I just start tossing the room till I find anything?
Yeah.
Like like my character's like being a bloodhound right now. Like he's checking for secret compartments and desks. He's, flipping a mattress.
You flip stuff, you open filing cabinets, you find a lot of these data crystals, like these crystalline sort of tablets, and you're able to like go onto them, and they are security protected, but you're able to decrypt them just like you were the others, or just like you were the console. And you basically find a lot of like classified material. This comes straight from the top, like from the Triumvirate themselves. You would find that they're signed by Grand Chancellor Lezra Nelmara, who is the Grand Chancellor of the Triumvirate of Zerai, and her two colleagues on the Triumvirate are Chancellors Marilon and Orzar.
Have I heard or seen or met any of these individuals?
Yes. They're politicians, very high-profile politicians. They basically oversee the entire galactic government.
Okay. Being that my character just doesn't trust like 99% of people, how likely is this a setup for him and his eyes at this point? Because according to the video, they showed up due to a missing ship. There was no missing ship. Then they were attacked by people they didn't know, and now there's just a broken fucking down ship. How conspiracy theory is like V's brain going right now? Is he like, this is an inside job? Or does he just think like this is a odd set of circumstances?
V would probably consider this to be a very odd set of circumstances. Nothing's really adding up. They wouldn't sabotage their own people, especially like one of their best warships. This ship is integral to the entire military fleet. It's one of the most famous ships out there. It was responsible for being at the head of the fleet that drove the Illithids back when they tried to their resurgence. So, for them to actively sabotage this thing would be incredibly fucking stupid. Even for, like, an evil politician. Like, Trump wouldn't even do anything this fucking stupid. Or at least, I hope Trump wouldn't be stupid enough to do something like that. But it's Trump, so probably a bad example.
I think then, like, knowing Oddjob is, like, probably about to exit out of the elevator, or is probably just, like, coming into the room. I'll just give him a wave, hand him some random documents, and then just leave the room.
You basically hear the elevator ding!
And I pop out.
Do we see that the
plot
lift
twist?
is just...
It's not you.
Yeah, like you guys basically follow Oddjob's trail to the elevator, and you see that it's currently moving, and then you're like frustrated that you gotta wait for the fucking elevator.
Are the stairs
to come
as well?
back down? Yes, there are stairs.
I'm literally gonna. Does it have like banisters and stuff between, so like you can go up the middle of them?
Yes.
Can I literally climb up that? Just literally, like,
do you have a
attempt to do that?
So Wolf Boy is turned to monkey.
He's just got a like you see. I think would Gawhyl like. I think Gawhyl would start to think that Vincent is up to something, because he clearly knows where he's going.
Um,
And there'd be like a Fury there, and Gawhyl would just literally climb up between the stairs to get up to the top as quick as possible.
So I exit I exit the elevator. Oh my gosh, Josh. I exit the
Yeah.
elevator. Jesus Christ! I told you to get the cat out of the room.
She ran in here when I went to go pee.
So I what do you call it? I exit the elevator, and then I just kind of like look at V, and I go, "What was this unit doing in here, all alone?"
I'm investigating why the ship was destroyed. What are
Away
you
from
doing
the group?
in this? What are you doing in this room, all alone, away from the group?
Oddjob just kind of like makes a winky eye face with his monitor.
I think
He,
I would look at Oddjob in this instance and just look at him. If we're both being honest with each other for a second, do you think if there's anything hidden in this laptop, you could find it? Or this video log?
Josh, do you think I have a good chance of doing that?
Like, could he interface into it?
He could certainly interface into the system. Like, that is something he could do. Not just, like, these logs, but the whole system.
I think.
Let's do it.
I think I asked, do you think you could, scan for anything that's hidden deeper into the system and then find out if there's an armory active on here? Because I kind of want to check if that's been cleared out,
Assuming
because that tells us.
This unit assumes that you don't want the rest of the group to know.
Well, to be fair, do you trust anyone on that ship?
I just expect payment when this is all said and done, in one form or another. And I go up to the oh, Josh is taking the headset off. Oh, he's taking the cat out. I expect payment when all is said and done. What you're looking for in armory?
I'm mainly just looking in, like, if there's any, like, logs of anything that was on this ship that would be considered,
Classified.
maybe, like, yeah, like, a little heavy, like, what's a good example? Like, if they have a fucking atom bomb, for instance, like, stored on this ship type of situation.
So, Josh, I walk up to the computer that he was working on. And then my hand goes inside the arm for a second, like it does whenever I want to do something, and it just pops up a tiny like USB cable, and I plug it in to the ship. What kind of check am I making?
Okay, so this would be hang on, let me pull up the document I have on
Clank going up, climbing up these railings.
Also, hello everyone. I've returned. The internet turned back on.
Hey.
Hi, babe.
Hello.
Levi, you're not here right now, technically.
Why?
No,
Because-
he's here. We re-retcon. He's back with the party, but he's just been really quiet.
No, Captain said you were not recovered enough to go, so.
Yeah, because he said that you're a dumb poopy pants loser.
Oh no!
I can confirm that. That was definitely the words that were said.
Can confirm.
Josh, what am I?
How to use them. So this would be, I would probably say this would count as a hacking check. So roll Arcana.
Would he have advantage since I already got into the system?
Oh, this is what Edsol's good at. Come on.
No. This is not a hacking check. This is specifically, this would... Actually, I did it wrong. So the bypassing check for V should have been sleight of hand.
Oh, I'm even better at that, so...
He probably would have succeeded. This is an Arcana check. Roll Arcana for a hacking check.
Josh, can you check your PM?
I can.
He just
Yes.
says no and moves
I'll
forward.
allow it.
Okay. Wonderful. Arcana check.
Yes.
And is this at advantage?
Would he be at advantage because I already got into the system? That was.
You know what? I'll say yes. That will give you advantage. You basically don't have to go through a firewall and burn yourself when you pee. Don't think too much about that analogy. I certainly didn't.
I was about to say, was that? Fuck, that would suck. The robot has to go through a firewall and he gets the sensation of peeing, but it's burning. That would suck.
Well, that's what it's like for robots who stick their USB in unknown ports.
Oh, God.
We're so demonetized.
That will be a 17.
Okay, with a 17, you're actually able to pull up recordings out of the system. And this is like the entire ship system, not just specifically the the vlogs of the captain. Like, you can access camera feeds and stuff from the whole ship.
Dang. Okay, so I
need you to make a perception check for one of those camera feeds.
perception.
While that's happening, I just want to specify Nebula hasn't gone up the elevator. She is still at the bottom of it.
That'll be a
Hell yeah.
24.
We're splitting up more in the spooky ship. This is exactly what I want. Chaos Reign.
Gawhyl wasn't even waiting for. Gawhyl wasn't even waiting for the lift. He was just literally like.
Do
"I've
you
got to
even
wait
have a
for this."
climbing speed though?
Correct, I do.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
do.
I was gonna make sure because I was like, "Fuck, that would be so slow."
I do have a climbing
He's a wolf.
speed. I think it's 20, so half movement, but climbing speed is a thing.
Meanwhile, Dagg's scratching at the door. Let me out! Let me out!
Now that you're back, babe, Dagg can basically choose to just ignore orders and get off the ship and go.
Hell yeah.
The whole time these guys have been doing this, you've been, suiting up and shit, and you just sneak past the bridge, go on to the dark ship.
You won't have a clue
Alone,
where we
not
are,
knowing
though.
where any of us are.
This is getting better and better because we'll all manage to get back to the ship, and there'll just be Dagg wandering around the ship, and we'll be like, "Where's Dagg?"
I see. Do I see Dagg join us then?
Okay, so
Say, Dagg,
I need
make me a
to know
survival check to
context.
see if
I
you
need to
can
know
catch up.
context. We got a distress call from an elven ship. Then what?
Yes. So you guys went to the elven ship. The Starhawk docked.
Did we fly to this elven ship? What?
Yes,
Yeah.
you flew to
Yeah.
the elven ship.
Okay, and so we flew right next to the elven ship and prepared to dock and.
Yes, you've docked with the ship. The party has gone aboard the ship. Their mission is to sweep the ship for survivors and learn all that they can. And if they can't find any survivors, check the hangar, see if any survivors manage to pilot a fighter out to safety or maybe a shuttle. That way they know that they can look for survivors.
Okay, what's the size of this ship? Or what are we looking at here? Like a
Star
giant
Wars
freighter.
Destroyer.
This is a cruiser.
Okay, so
it's not
massive.
a dreadnought. So the Star Destroyers are dreadnoughts. This is a cruiser. This is more along the lines of one of the rebel cruisers.
If you were to put a population number, a few thousand.
So the Starhawk can support probably about 30 people max. This cruiser can support about 5,000.
I think you actually PM'd me how many it took.
Maybe. I don't feel like going through.
Okay,
this
so
right now,
is this like
2,500.
space horror, Dead Space? I enter in the ship, and there's just an empty hallway of slowly blinking lights, and
Yes.
Yeah, it's on emergency reserve power. The reserve lighting is on, but life support is functioning, and gravity is functioning.
Good luck.
okay,
this.
so
All right. So, where were we before we were describing all this?
You were putting your USB port into a computer and telling me if we found anything smoothie aboard.
I see. So Josh, you said I have access to cameras throughout the whole ship. What else were you gonna say?
Perception check
Oh,
for one of those cameras.
I did that already. What was it? That was 24.
Okay, with a 24, in one of the corridors on one of the lower decks, you see a figure in black armor with red highlighting, like red lighting and accents, carrying a weapon, and it does not look like any race you've seen.
Oh, interesting.
Does Odd Job show D?
I'm assuming that I can show V this display, right?
Yes.
Would V recognize this race? Or at least this type of creature, considering his...
You would not. You would not
No.
recognize this creature. You don't recognize the armor. You don't recognize the weapon. This is completely alien to you. But it looks dangerous. It's about dwarf height, but it doesn't have like a head. It just has like a torso with like shoulders, and it has 4 arms.
If we're on the top deck and our party's on the bottom deck, and then there's the wolf man climbing up the stairs like a wild person, what floor would this person be on?
Probably on the engineering deck, so about deck 4 or 5.
So closer to us than the party.
Yes.
Oh, I'm climbing up towards that.
By the way, the decks go in sort of like descending order, so it's like deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4, deck 5. You guys are like, the bridge deck probably counts as like the top deck, and then you have deck 1, and then deck 2, and then deck 3. You guys would have entered on around about deck 1 or deck 2, and then like deck 3 and 4 and 5, like you've got, you know, like your engineering deck and like, you know, your storage deck, your hangar. This is probably around the engineering deck. It does not seem to be aware that you are here for the time being.
does Oddjob see Dagg arrive?
Yes, actually. You see Dagg just like, you know, yeah!
Yeah, I point out to V Dagg running through.
And there's just like that, why the fuck is he here when he's all beat up? I look at Oddjob, and you know, in this moment, I'm not a super genius. I think I would look to Oddjob. Should we, you know, check if the comm systems throughout the ship are working and alert the ship that there's a random psycho killer probably on board on that 4th floor?
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
I give it a try, Josh.
If you jack into the ship's comms, this creature will hear it too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, warning, you have been caught.
Oh no.
Warning, intruder alert.
Would
So-
he wait? Hold on. The question is, would Oddjob know that it would go on every floor?
You know what? Odd job. Make an intelligence check for me.
Wonderful.
How close am I to
Hell
these
yeah.
two now? With all this going on.
Me and Oddjob are a
I'd
little
say you'd
tiefling
have
boy
arrived
split
by
into
now,
two
Gal.
characters.
I just hear this like slight scratching and like
That'll be
like,
16.
like you just hear this.
16? You can probably guess that if you plug into the intercom, it will go throughout the ship. Especially because you're coming from the captain's quarters, where the captain would want to give orders throughout the entire ship.
Oh, I let V know that.
I mean, I know on real ships you can designate compartments
Yeah.
to give
Yeah, but
content,
this is,
like give announcements to.
But
but
they
this
are
is
very
To be
much
fair,
hacking
this
into
isn't like
this.
this isn't like. I think what Josh is saying. This isn't the bridge where you can like choose where specifically. This is just a general captain's quarter. You know.
Yeah, this is
You can
just
do it from
general
there, too.
captain's, like, push to talk.
It could also be though that like maybe Oddjob just can't get into that system
Yeah.
because it's down or something.
It's
So-
I like to think of it like a god mic at a theater.
I think then,
You'd look.
not hearing the scratches yet, I say let's go get on the elevator and go back
Yeah,
there and
yeah.
beat
You
up
just-
everyone else.
So we go on the elevator before
You just-
he gets here.
You just
Okay,
probably,
I DC'd there for a second. What happened?
you'd probably see
We're all good.
like Gawhyl.
Yeah, but did you pass the check?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably see you'd see like an angry looking Gawhyl just like come over the top. And
We just wave to you while the door shuts again.
Yeah. I don't wave, but my visor that displays my emotions just does a waving hand emoji.
Gawhyl, stay up here. He's gonna try and see if there's any information. He's not gonna go straight back down. He's just used
Would you have
energy
left
to get
the
up.
stuff on?
Unless you told me to turn it off.
I probably would have said shut it down, but
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
let you decide whatever you want to do.
It's cool. Before we go into the elevator, I did like turn everything off.
Well done.
I will go into the captain's quarters to see this chaos from obviously they've been searching. And
Yeah,
Gawhyl's-
you go in there. They've been searching. Like it's not even like been hidden.
Oh
I
no,
think
I
he'd just
tossed
be-
that shit.
I think he'd just be getting slowly more and more
V
annoyed
literally
every time.
tossed the room like a salad. Like, yeah, he gave it the thorough examination.
Can I see if there's just like looking in the room? Can I see if there's like anything that would stand out to me from what I've been told about how the ships work and stuff like that?
You'd recognize this as the captain's quarters, so this is where the captain stays. It's directly beneath the bridge, so where the captain would give orders and where they would helm the ship and other things. Looking around here, it basically just looks like a quarters, except it's got a few more amenities that the captain would require. Like, for example, it has the systems that allow them to project their voice to the whole ship, and their console, other things like that. There are also the classified documents.
Can I have a quick sort of flick through them? Just see if I can see
And-
anything obvious.
Basically, what you see is basically what was reported in the vlog, which you can also choose to watch. They haven't relocked the console, so you can basically just boot the laptop up and be like, ooh, porn.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Now you're getting too monetized.
Anyway.
Like we have anything for YouTube to take. I'm poor, bitches. Come and take all my nothing.
I guess yeah, I'd look through there. Did the others go up to the what call it? the main room? The bridge?
No. We went back down to meet up with the party because there's a psycho killer.
Gawhyl doesn't
Just
know
to
that.
say.
So, Gawhyl would like to go up to the bridge if we can from where the captain's quarters are.
Bridge. Going up to the bridge, you find, well, it's not the prettiest sight. The vacuum of space has broken in, and gravity is shut off in the bridge.
I think he'd like just very slightly open the door and be like, nope.
Yeah, like you open the door and like there's that whoosh of air exiting into the vacuum.
Is there like a window that I can at least look in through?
Yeah, like the door itself is like, you know, transparent. It's like glass doors that would slide open onto the bridge.
Ah, right, I see.
Looking through these doors onto the bridge, you'd basically see all the control panels and stuff. Some bodies are like floating, like they were slumped over these sort of stations, but then, like, you know, when they died, they slumped over the stations and the gravity shut off, so now they're just floating slightly above it. You do not see the captain, you do not see the commander, and you do not see Valoran.
That was going to be my next question.
I know, that's why I elaborated.
Does it look like from this sort of distance, does it look like the systems have been destroyed within that room? Like the consoles and everything?
Very. It looks like the bridge took a lot of very heavy damage, especially like from other like parts of the ship being damaged that just sort of had like a domino effect. Some of these consoles probably had like readings from parts of the ship that got severely damaged, and like the surge energy just went in people's faces, and that's why they died.
So it doesn't look like there's any system within there that could work.
There may be a few. There is something else you notice, however. You notice some blood stains, and some of the corpses, now that you like look toward where the blood stains are, some of these guys look like they were slashed in half with a blade.
Oh my god. I just got a winter storm warning.
Oh.
I think that does it look like a clean cut, or can I not see from this distance?
Oh, it was clean. Very clean. Like, the blade that did this was immaculately sharp. It was not, however, a force blade. It was not a magi saber. It did not leave any sort of, like, cauterization or anything. Which is one of the reasons why, you know, there's blood splatter. You wouldn't get that with a magi saber, for example. Energy blades would not leave blood trails. The blood would be instantly vaporized.
Yeah, I see.
This is so fucking Dead Spacey.
It's so good. Is there anything else of note without having to actually go in the bridge? Like, within this sort of, like, small space between the quarters and going into the bridge itself?
Probably see a few of the crew members who tried to run. Some are just dead, probably from like the vacuum exposure. At least one or two have been slashed in the back by whatever bisected some of those people.
If there's some,
Josh. Oh, sorry. Go.
if there's some that I can actually physically examine, I'd like to try and physically examine, just to try
Okay,
and find
make
out
me a
anything else.
medicine check. If
Well,
you're examining
he's-
the bodies.
While he's rolling, Josh, did that guy we saw walking around, did he have like any masks or anything on for like open air or being in the
Oh,
atmosphere?
the suit was like complete, like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
full body.
He didn't look
And-
like he had a head though.
Yeah, it didn't have a head. It was just like a torso, but you couldn't like see a face or eyes or anything because it was like completely solid, and it had 4 arms, and it was about dwarf height. And
I
this
think-
thing, it was carrying like 2 pistols and a rifle at the same time. So, guns akimbo.
Okay.
I got a 19.
Okay,
That's
with a
good.
19, the blade that did this was curved. It was impossibly sharp. And you judge by the way that it connected, it may have been attached to something long, maybe some kind of pole arm.
I almost imagine the way that Gawhyl processes this is he like physically sort of like imagines how the person was running and then sort of like the angle it was hit from and stuff like that. Sort of like 3D space. If there's nothing else for me to gain in terms of knowledge from the people and everything, I think I would
There's
just...
not much else you can learn here at this point.
Yeah, I think it'd just try and rummage a bit more around the captain's quarters, just see if there's anything that would give any sort of sign to anything before heading down.
Honestly, it looks like they hauled ass. They got up and left in a big hurry. If there are any survivors, like, they're gone. Like, they straight up noped the fuck out.
I'll let you go back to the others.
I think. Actually, yeah. Do the other stuff.
Just actively face palming, like, why is everyone got split up? We were told to stay together.
Where did Night
As
Stalker
we're going
go?
down the elevator, Oddjob just says, "It is so much more fun to be on the one waving at the other person than the person being waved at."
I completely agree with you.
Where's Night Stalker? Wait, what? God. Okay, well, we still have to be on our guard. We don't know what's going on here, so and she snaps her fingers again, and those 2 more of these dancing lights appear, except that she forms into like a humanoid form and has it stand off towards the center of the room. So it's like a vaguely humanoid form of these kind of like starry lights. There we go. Anyone who comes in here towards us should cast a shadow. Make it easier to see anybody sneaking off. Didn't think that would be a problem.
I know,
Can I
right?
try something?
Yeet.
I don't know where anyone is.
You certainly can, Dagg.
So I with my gun out, I'm like on edge, and I say, Insol, do you feel anyone? Is anyone nearby? Can you reach out, touch someone's mind? Where is everyone?
Tapping into security footage. Alert. Unknown entity is approaching. ETA.
Where?
60 seconds.
Oh fuck.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I try to find like a corner or something to hide in.
Oh, he just came back to life and he's about to get destroyed by this meat cleaver. Oh, yep. Inner monologue to Oddjob later. You know, we should have definitely used the comm system and told everyone there's a psycho killer on the ship.
So
Doesn't
if you
have
want
to
to take
be-
cover and try and get the element of surprise, you can roll a stealth check to hide.
Okay.
Sweet dreams,
Alright.
children.
I need to load everything back up because it was disconnected. Bookmarks.
At least I've got an escape route at the moment. I can just go out into the astral sea.
Okay. Stealth? You want me to roll a stealth? Yes.
That is correct.
Got a +4 to this. Flat 20.
Okay, a flat 20. I am now going to roll perception. Wow, that was dog shit. Okay. Flat 4, everybody.
Sounds like someone's getting lucky right now.
Oh, you are getting so fucking lucky right now. Holy shit. That flat 4 is so amazing. I need to look up something real quick.
Why am I getting like Alien Isolation type vibes?
Huh.
Just something like that is so dead we're just walking around and you know that you're walking around with it.
Except
Okay.
we're all a bunch of level 1s.
He's putting
So-
us into a boss fight for our first fight.
You guys, well, specifically you, Dagg, you see something round the corner, and you've basically chosen to hid in an alcove. You see a very small creature, probably about halfling size, dressed in this black armor with the red accents and highlights. You've never seen anything like this before. This does not match any technology from any faction you know.
What about Ansel? Does he recognize it?
In your head, you just hear unknown. Illithid technology not detected.
This is not gnomish.
I do not believe so. I am unsure what this creature is. It does not match any known readings. I have tapped into the ship's logs. I am finding 0 matches. Racial recognition inconclusive. This is not a race of the Astral Expanse. And it just passes by, seemingly as if bored and on patrol.
If I close my organic eye and just look through Ansel, like, is there like a HU, like a HUD, like an Iron Man kind of like looking like scanning?
Yeah, you
thing,
basically
like,
get like, you know, the Terminator readout with like all the little.
yeah. Like, is it what kind of energy signatures? What do I see coming off of this thing? Is there like a
So-
power level like 9,000? Don't touch, you will
It's-
die.
It's definitely got some bad vibes, but this specific creature, you don't think it poses that much of a threat by itself. Especially if you were to like take it on by yourself. But if there are more, and if they can call in backup, you think they'd be a problem.
But yes, Josh, DM. Did you see what Tech has posted?
Yes. So that is where we'll leave off for now. But I'm glad you boys and ghouls got a lovely little taste.
So the Oddjob
Taste.
points his gun right at V's head and pulls the trigger. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
no.
Sauce, I'm gonna say it didn't taste nice at all. It was supposed to be sweet and sour, and you added too much sour.
Oh no, I
And
just
no
put some
shit.
ghost pepper in there. You'll be fine.
Oh no!
Hey, can I have some of that?
I like my things spicy.
Oh,
Oh,
so
my
do I.
ulcer!
I love spicy food.
Shall we leave it off there?
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
spicy food
Yeah.
as well, but it does not love me.
We have to end the recording.
You can stop recording.
Aye.
Outro.
Yes.
Outro,
Ah,
please.
yes, the outro. That'll be it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming along with us on this journey. If you'd like to find out what the hell these things are and if these people are going to live, tune in next time. Make sure to press that like button and make sure to subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything. And if you do want to miss out on anything, well, that sounds like a you problem.